Hey there, everyone! Welcome back to our channel. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a topic that affects all of us, savings and inflation. Yes, those pesky price increases can really put a dent in your hard-earned cash. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's break it down together. Now, you might be wondering, how exactly does inflation impact my savings over time? Well, let's explore that question in detail. First things first, let's clarify what inflation is. Inflation is the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services rises, eroding purchasing power. In simple terms, as inflation increases, the value of your money decreases. This means that £1 today won't buy you as much in the future. For example, let's say you have £1,000 saved up today. If the annual inflation rate is 3%, that means in 1 year, the same goods that cost you £1,000 today will cost you about £1,030 a year from now. If you don't earn at least that much in interest on your savings, you're effectively losing money. Now, let's put this into perspective with some real numbers. According to the Office for National Statistics, UK CPI inflation averaged 2.5% annually from 2014 to 2023. However, it peaked at 11.1% in October 2022 due to energy crises and supply chain disruptions. During such periods, if your savings account only earns 1% interest, you're losing purchasing power every year. That's right, your money is shrinking in value while sitting idly in a low-interest savings account. Let's take a closer look at two different savings scenarios. Imagine you have £10,000 saved up. If you keep it in a savings account with a 1% interest rate, after 1 year you'd have £10,100. But if inflation is at 3%, that same amount in terms of purchasing power would only be equivalent to about £9,806. So, even though you have more pounds, you can buy less with them. Now, some of you might be thinking, but I can invest my savings to combat inflation. And you're absolutely right. Investing can potentially yield higher returns that outpace inflation. However, investing comes with its own risks. The stock market, for instance, can be volatile. There are no guarantees, and it requires some research and understanding of market trends. Let's say you decide to invest that £10,000 in a stock market instead. Historically, the average annual return for the stock market has been around 7% over the long term. If you earn that 7% in a year, you'd have £10,700. Adjusting for 3% inflation, you're still ahead with about £10,427 in purchasing power. This illustrates why many financial experts recommend having a diversified investment portfolio to hedge against inflation. But here's another important point: not everyone is comfortable with investing. Many prefer the security of a savings account, and that's totally fine. However, understanding how inflation works can help you make informed decisions about where to put your money. Another way to think about inflation is through the lens of everyday life. Have you ever noticed that the cost of groceries, gas, or dining out seems to keep climbing? That's inflation at work. These rising costs can make it feel like your paycheck isn't stretching as far as it used to, which directly impacts your ability to save. So, what can you do to combat the effects of inflation on your savings? Here are a few strategies. 1. Shop smart, look for sales, use coupons, and consider buying generic brands to save money. 2. Consider high-yield savings accounts or certificates of deposit. They typically offer better interest rates than traditional savings accounts. 3. Invest in assets that historically outpace inflation, like real estate or stocks. 4. Educate yourself on personal finance. The more you know, the better decisions you can make with your money. To wrap it all up, inflation is an essential factor to consider when managing your savings. It can significantly impact your purchasing power over time, making it crucial to find ways to ensure your money works for you. Whether you choose to save, invest, or a combination of both, being informed is the first step towards financial security. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more educational content, and share it with your friends. Let's keep the conversation going, How do you plan to protect your savings from inflation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and happy saving.